Sony, you sicken me. Your A7V and R6 II replica at best. Rumor has it kittens are refusing to jump in the empty box. That's not something I'd want on my watch list. But it doesn't mean I'm not tempted to head into a small light vlogging system, and the A6700 was close on a list. We got a question, a guy was debating it, so I've also had those thoughts. Let us fully envelop them today.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Nikon Z6 III, of course, 40mm Tony 2, using just the red film bias offset LUTs, but what if we could Fuji-ize our life? Nikon camera with a Fuji touch, anyone? Stop it. I've been using these Fuji LUTs on my Canon. I'm just like, I'm travel vlogging with a Fuji full frame. Goodbye. So we got a desperate jabron in need of help. Need your help, I'm on a budget. Confused, by the way, taking Z6 III. You can't take mine. And A6700. Low light and autofocus is priority. So we'll tackle him briefly throughout the episode, but I also have that debate because I use Nikon Z6 III for vlogging sometimes. Canon R5 II, we have a secret battle coming up soon on why I chose one or the other. But I was debating getting a Sony A6700 just because it was pretty light and it fits a lot of the boxes. If I was to re-enter the Sony universe, lightweight APS-C, Zeiss Touit 12mm 2.8, we have some pop, we're vlogging with dignity, and it punches in for the slow-mo, so all of a sudden you're doing slow-mo street videography on your skateboard, it's punching into like 40mm, HD 240, perfect autofocus. The only complaint I have so far with the Nikon Z6 III and R5 II for vlogging, stave ain't the best. It's okay, it's not even Nikon, you're not okay at all. Canon's okay, especially if you got digital on there, but then the 28's kind of cropped in there with a 10%. So like, I could get by with either system, but like, could I improve it? I'm always hunting like, but that would be a viable option. As abysmal as the stave would be without catalyst browse, if you were willing to do it, you have the best stave possible with just a 5% crop. And then you have Zeiss magic. You're slapping your Fuji LUTs on the A6700, always in focus, and then you have the ultimate slow-mo. The only problem, you're 2 grams lighter than the Nikon ZR with the 26mm. You donkey slut. How do you figure you can pass that off as a deal? A6700 APS-C sensor, not full frame, and you're the same weight. That's when the dream died in my heart. But if you're actually debating Nikon Z6 III versus the A6700, low light and autofocus is priority, I would have to give the edge still to Sony APS-C. Maybe not low light. Z6 III does 6400 ISO clean. Beautiful. That's not super low light. I've needed like 50,000. And I was like, So like, it's not gonna look great. But Sony does some like weird noise reduction stuff and it'll be passable. It might even look less noisy, but it won't look better. Nikon has like, it's noisy. You shoot in RAW especially. It's like, yeah, it's noisy, but it looks nice. It's like clean and sharp and still good. Is he cycling through Fuji LUTs on a Nikon? Wow. Which one looks best? Post it down. So A6700, that is the camera if you're in Sony, except it's just so hard, man. The ZVE1, I think, is like 2 grams lighter than the A6700. Don't quote me on that. It's roughly like right there. And I'm like, come on, like what are we doing? Full frame Sony, and then you get the lenses are a bit heavier if you want to go ultra wide, but it's a trade-off. You're getting full frame. But how come you're not debating the ZR? You really need that viewfinder. What are you even shooting? You don't even say it. You suck. Oh, I have no money and you're confused. Thanks so much. Some random ass hobo confused and lost in this city. Why do you have a camera? That's why I don't take you jabrones serious at all. And I just answer your question as if it was me buying it because you give me no information. So I've been you in the situation where my Z6 III is fantastic as long as you're okay with the weight of it, because it's 130 grams heavier than the ZR. And so like really there's no reason to upgrade for me, but I kind of want to have that lighter weight. That's the only reason. Like Red Raw is going to be maybe a tiny bit better. I'm probably going to slap a Fuji LUT on it anyway. It's like stupidness. I'm not even going to use a color space transform. Side rant. I made that Fuji LUT video saying like, oh man, you can use Fuji LUTs on a Canon. So many comments like, where do you get the LUTs? Oh, my fingers are broken. I can't type into Google Fuji LUTs. Enter with the pinky. Come on, what am I, your babysitter? You jabron asshole. So it is actually kind of confusing, but it's the first link that comes up if you type Fuji LUTs. It's Fuji's site, but you need the GFX 55 Eterna LUT. It's right at the top page. And then I've been slapping it on here with nothing, no color space transform, and it's good enough, kind of. Ideally, you would color space transform Nikon N-Log to Fuji, but there's no option, and I don't know what Fuji is. Sometimes, like, all this Rec 2020 shit, I don't have time for it. So just slap the LUT on and run to success. But I think that Nikon ZR release really stunned a lot of companies. Like there's almost no reason to get other things in that area. Like everything's more expensive. The A7V, way more money. Canon R6 III, way more. Why? Nikon does more than both of those, except some quirks with the IBIS being a little jerky every movement. It's painful, and the autofocus is good, but it's not their level. There's some things to hate in the Nikon universe, but people mount any lens on there. And you got great native lenses. How could you not? You're cheaper and lighter. And it's Nikon full frame with the color, even though I'm using a Fuji LUT. Don't pay any attention to that. Nikon LUTs are good enough for you. So well, I think if I did 2 vlogs, one with the Sony A6700 and the Zeiss combo, and I used Catalyst Browse, yes, that would take hours of rendering, and my Mac probably is not happy with that decision. GPU power in there, it's like, whoops, we don't have that. That would suck. If you're a daily vlogger and you have to do that every video, that's like transcoding. That's like making proxies. That's hours of workflow to your workflow. That's not good. But if it's the occasional thing, and I kind of wish I had a wider lens with some pop, and there's not many options. For Nikon, 26 is the widest with pop. What are you gonna do? Like, it'd be nice to just have the camera and you're seeing more. I don't know, like Canon's 28mm. Like the 16 is garbage. It's made of literal donkey fur, I think. That's how liquidized, clarified donkey fur. There's no pop on that. Most RF lenses are garbage. Is there a Voigtlander or something I could adapt? I don't know. I mean, you can still get a sense of your town even with 28mm and you're vlogging and it's okay. But I feel like I could be happier with wide, but there's just not many options with the pop. So that was one that popped up, and I saw a deal on Amazon Warehouse for the Sony. I'm like, maybe. And then I saw a deal for the Zeiss, and I'm like, 2 and 2 together, that's less than 2,000 Canadian. That could be fun just to review it even. And then you sell it off, and I don't know, man. Is it worth it going the Sony route? It's clinical. It's just exact footage. If you're building like a metallic YouTube studio, everything's just clean and straight lines and reflections, and you're like spraying it with disinfectant in your show, and everything just has to be perfect and neat. Sony is probably your brand. Sigma glass on top of that. No one could stop you. And I want to see it happen, but for those who like a nice image, you gotta compromise. You go Nikon, you lose some things, but you spend less money, do you not? Canon, also a bit clinical, for being honest. So, I don't know, man. Just go Z6 III, probably better to go ZR unless you really need that viewfinder and you take photos for some reason. Mechanical shutter probably helps. I'm not aware of why you would ever need that. I think I helped you, and I'm never going Sony ever. Unless they make a super lightweight full frame vlogger style with actual IBIS, well, it's unlikely that I was of any help to you, and you probably already made your purchase decision 8 months ago, and it took me a while to get to your thing. You can donate Bitcoin down below, and thank you so much. Sony, you suck. And how did the Nikon perform with Fuji LUTs today? Huh? Cinema could have been had by some. Subscribe right now.